Hello and welcome to Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics Ice Age Watch, where winter weather is out in full force this week across New Zealand, and there's plenty of rain in the Bay of Plenty and snow for the South Island, leaving our puzzled cousins over the Dutch slightly perplexed after all.
Our world is warming. Undeniably, it is warming. And I'm proud, at least, that 10 years on from when I first sat right over there, we're no longer having the debate over whether or not that is the case.
Well, Jacinta, perhaps you should be having this debate. You never know what you might learn when people actually have an open mind. Jacinta Ardern is correct, of course, to say that climate cultists like herself were over there banging on about global warming a decade ago. But how accurate were their predictions? A common threat back in 2010, a decade ago, was that the entire ice mass of Greenland would soon disappear from the world map. According to The Guardian, in August 2010, Greenland was shedding its largest chunk of ice in nearly half a century and faced a grim future. Sometime in the next decade, we may pass that tipping point and Greenland may not survive, one scientist told a US Congressional Committee on Global Warming. As the congressman sweated nervously in the hot August afternoon, he added that this could mean the obliteration of Greenland's ice sheet, unleashing a global sea level rise of 23 feet, and that low-lying cities such as New Orleans might vanish. Or maybe not. According to The Skeptical, not a lot of people know that website. Since then, Greenland's temperatures have returned to normal and are no higher than they were in the 1930s. What's more, the Petermann Glacier is still more or less in the same position as it was 10 years ago, and the Danish Meteorological Institute report that despite a slight dip last year, Greenland's major glaciers stopped retreating 7 years ago. Perhaps someone should tell Jacinta that.
Climate change is the biggest challenge of our time. And for us here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, that means for this generation, this is our nuclear moment.
No, your nuclear moment would be if you embraced nuclear energy as the only way to reduce carbon emissions. As Xeon Lights, a former Extinction Rebellion activist, wrote this week, saying that after her interview last year with Andrew Neil, which we played part of on Outsiders, she quit Extinction Rebellion and she's now campaigning for nuclear power, proving that free speech and the exchange of ideas do work. Meanwhile, the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, the BOM, has this week announced a La Nina watch. La Nina in the north, in Australia, during spring and summer, is associated, they say, with cooler daytime temperatures. Sea surface temperature anomalies point to a cooler than neutral pattern developing by up until November. Skeptics might have noticed the remarkable coincidence that whenever temperatures get warmer, the BOM excitedly calls it catastrophic global heating. But when temperatures get cooler, the BOM calls it Nina, as if it were some obscure 1980s German pop singer. Go Nina. Meanwhile, parts of Queensland have been warned to brace for their coldest day of the year and possible snowfalls as an icy blast sends temperatures plummeting. And it's also freezing in the Northern Hemisphere. Last week, Rochester, New York, had the coldest low temperature for June 14th since 1875. And in Skåne, in southern Sweden, record low temperatures and severe frosts at the end of May froze all the delicate strawberry blossoms. The cold then ran well into June, meaning further unfavourable growing conditions and seriously stunted strawberries. As a result, Swedish strawberries are now in short supply and prices are skyrocketing. Now, surely there must be some obscure English boy band that wrote a single about strawberries. Got it.
forever.